Let's be real for a second. Have you ever felt like you're doing all the manifestation things right? The vision boards, the affirmations, but absolutely nothing is changing? Yeah, you're not alone. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on that whole frustrating experience and actually build a real working system from the ground up. Because the law of attraction you've been taught, it's probably wrong. And this quote just hits the nail on the head. So many of us treat this whole thing like a magic vending machine, right? You just pop in a positive thought, and boom, your dream life is supposed to drop into the tray. But when it doesn't, we think we're the problem. The truth? That machine was never real to begin with. We were just given a faulty blueprint. And look at this. This lays out the difference perfectly. On the left, you've got that cartoon version. Just insert a thought, get an outcome. It's a one-step wish. But on the right, that's the real deal. It's a dynamic, three-part system. It involves your mind, sure, but also your behavior and the feedback you get from the world around you. It's a complete loop, and if any one of those parts is out of whack, the whole system just breaks down. So, here's our game plan for today. We're going to start with that core three-part system. Then we'll dive deep into the real boss of your brain, your subconscious. We'll cover how to handle your emotions the right way, why action is totally non-negotiable, and then at the very end, I'm going to give you a daily blueprint you can literally start using today. All right, let's get right into the engine of this whole process. This isn't about wishful thinking, not at all. It's about understanding three interconnected parts that absolutely have to work together. If one is off, the whole thing just sputters out. So here it is, the system. Step one is all about your inner calibration, your thoughts, your feelings, and who you believe you are at your core. This inner world then creates an external signal, which is step two. That's your consistent behaviors, your choices, the stuff you actually do. And finally, step three is the feedback from your environment, the people and the opportunities that your signal attracts. See how it works? You can't just hang out in step one and hope for step three to magically appear. Your actions have to match your identity to get the feedback you want. And that brings us to a massive piece of this puzzle. Who is actually steering your ship? You might think it's your conscious mind. The one setting goals and repeating those affirmations. But there's a much more powerful pacton hiding below deck. This slide just illustrates that internal battle perfectly. Up on the deck, your conscious mind can be shouting, "I am wealthy," all day long. But down in the engine room, your subconscious, the real captain, is running a totally different program that says, nope, money is scarce and you don't deserve it. And guess what? The subconscious always wins. It's the executive making the real decisions. It's going to unconsciously sabotage any opportunity that threatens its core beliefs. So, how do you fix this? You can't just shout louder affirmations, that's for sure. The solution is what we call identity work. You have to prove to your subconscious that a new identity is real, and you do that through small, repeated actions. Every single micro act is like laying a new brick, physically building new pathways in your brain that give your subconscious tangible evidence that, hey, change is real and it's happening. And here's how you make that a practical, everyday habit. Step one, pick one tiny, repeatable action that a person with your desired identity would do. Want to be financially free? Okay, a financially free person probably reviews their money for, say, 10 minutes every morning. That's it. Step two, repeat it every single day. That daily action is concrete proof that slowly but surely overwrites that old limiting script with a brand new one. Okay, next up, the emotional piece. This is where so many people get tripped up. They think they need to be happy and positive 24/7. Not only is that impossible, it's actually counterproductive. I want you to really let this sink in. Emotions are data. That's it. Fear, doubt, anxiety, they aren't failures. They are just blinking indicator lights on your internal dashboard. They are signals pointing to a deep belief that needs a little inspection. So treat them like information, not like roadblocks. Because this is exactly what happens when you try to fake it till you make it. You're plastering a happy mask over genuine fear, and that creates what's called internal dissonance. Your words might be saying, "I'm confident," but your body, your energy, your entire subconscious is screaming, "I am terrified." And that sends a scrambled, chaotic signal out into the world. It's like trying to tune into two radio stations at once. All you get is static. So here's a super simple, really powerful technique to shift your state without faking it. First, just name the feeling. Acknowledge it. Okay, I'm feeling doubt. Then you just ask yourself, what's a tiny action that represents confidence? Maybe it's just standing up straight for 2 minutes or sending that one email you've been putting off. Do that.
It's a tiny piece of proof that actually starts to change your emotional baseline.
All right, now we get to the part that truly separates wishful thinking from creating your reality. Action. Seriously, the idea that you can just sit on your couch and visualize your way to a new life is probably the biggest myth in this entire space. This quote says it all. Reality responds to directed energy, and action is directed energy. But, and this is the important part, it's not about random hustle. It's about aligned action. Action that comes directly from the identity you're building and the emotional state you just calibrated. If it's not aligned, you're just spinning your wheels and burning out. I absolutely love this radio analogy because it makes it so clear. Your mindset, your identity, your beliefs, your emotions, that sets the radio to a specific frequency. But your actions are the antenna that actually broadcasts that signal out to the world. If you tune the frequency but you never hit broadcast, well, all you get is silence. Okay, we have covered the theory, we've gone through the system, we know all the key parts. Now, let's make this incredibly practical. How do you actually weave all of this into your daily life? Here is the blueprint. Here it is, your daily practice broken down into 3 super simple steps. In the morning, you spend just 5 minutes setting your identity for the day and taking one small action that proves it. That starts your day with evidence. Then, midday, when you feel a limiting thought pop up, you take 2 minutes for a quick reality check and you reframe it. That stops negative momentum in its tracks. And finally, in the evening, you review your small wins. This is what reinforces those new neural pathways you're building. This is the compound effect in action, day after day. And just remember, there are 3 pillars that support this whole system. First, your environment. The people you surround yourself with will either amplify your signal or create static, so choose wisely. Second, patience. You are planting a tree, not flipping a light switch. Real change compounds over time. And finally, ethics. Make sure your goals are aligned with who you really are, with your true values, or any success you find will just feel empty. So, here's my challenge to you. Don't just take my word for it. Test it out for yourself. I want you to commit to this daily blueprint for just 30 days. Treat it like a personal experiment. For 30 days, collect your own data and see what happens when you stop wishing and you start building with an aligned system. And let's end on this powerful idea. If everything you've been doing so far feels like you're just tossing wishes into the void, the law itself isn't broken. The problem has always been the blueprint you were using. And now you have a new one. The theory is done. The steps are right here on the table. You have the system, you have the blueprint. The only question left is, are you ready to start building?
Thank you for your continuous love and support. Keep watching the other videos of this channel so you can become the master of your own destiny. Don't hesitate to comment your thoughts. We read every single one. That's a promise. At The Good Night Show, we're committed to bring you the best contents for your manifestation journey. Nothing is coincidental. You're here watching this for a reason. Let's explore it together. Once again, thank you for your time and hope you've enjoyed the video. You can support us by hitting the subscribe button below and even by liking this video. Good Night Show.